Hi, my name is Chad Holt. I'm going to teach you guys how to build a computer. Okay, first we're going to install our Intel G3258 processor into our Gigabyte GAH81M DS2V motherboard. To do that, we just want to make sure that we line up the indicator arrow on both the CPU and the socket to make sure that it is oriented correctly. Just drop it into the socket here carefully, and then lower the lid. Pull the lever down to secure it into place. Next, we're going to install 8 gigabytes of DDR3 1333 megahertz RAM, and normally you'd want to have a matching stick of memory installed to get the dual channel speed benefits, but in this case we want to leave this slot open for future expansion. Alright, next we're going to move on to drives. Go. Alright, next we're going to install our HP DVD burner into our Antec GX500 Illusion case. So we're just going to slide this into the top 5¼ inch bay and make sure we line up the front panel so it's nice and flush. And then we use this toolless mechanism to secure the drive into place. And now we're going to use these toolless rails on our hard drive. Just have to snap those into place. And then the whole thing just slides right in. Now we're installing our power supply. This is an XFX TS 550 watt, which is built by Seasonic, one of the best power supply builders in the business. And first we're going to feed a bunch of these cables through to the back chamber for cable management. Okay. Alright, now we just have to screw it into the back of the case. Alright, now we are installing our motherboard into the chassis. We just have to line up the ports on the back with the I/O shield, which we've already installed in the case. And now we just have to screw it into place. Alright. Okay, next we're going to install our CPU cooler. I'm going to put some thermal compound, some Arctic MX4. And this provides heat transfer between the CPU's heat spreader and the heatsink. We just need a little dab of it right there in the center. And then when we push the cooler down, the pressure will cause it to flatten out. And now we're installing our Cooler Master Sidon 120V water cooler onto the CPU, which is a little bit tricky. Now we just need to wire up the power for our CPU fan to this header on the motherboard. This header is tied into the temperature sensors, which track the CPU's heat levels, and then it can ramp up the fan speed as necessary to keep it nice and cool. And we're going to take the pump power and we're going to route that back into the rear chamber. Okay, now we're going to install our GeForce 660 Ti video card into our PCI Express slot on the motherboard here. Alright, now all that's left is wiring it up, all the power and data cables. Alright, now we just have to put the side panel back on. And that's it. We're done.